The question is posted by Sherry, and it's about meditation. She didn't. You don't. You didn't specifically ask me anything about meditation. I guess you wanted me to talk about meditation in general. Meditation. I'm going to tell you how I started, what did I know about meditation, and what do I know now about meditation, which I didn't know. So, when I was experiencing extreme panic attacks on a regular basis, anxiety every day, one of the things I remember, it was so bad that you become phobic, afraid to do anything that might trigger a panic attack. So I went to a chiropractor. I was really feeling horrible. And I remember feeling a lot better when he cracked, chiropractor did work on me on my neck or whatever. And but it was late. It was 8 o'clock, 8:30 maybe. And I look around me because I lived in. I still have a house there. It's in a beautiful area in California. Ojai. And I look at the thing in the internet to see any doctors, and I found one close by. And he told me, yeah, it was in front of his house, and he would come, come over, I'll see you. Okay. So I went, it was horrible. The table, it was horrible, super uncomfortable. Really bad. I was getting more excited with him in there, touching me. And I told him to just stop, because I wasn't, and he recommended some pills that were all natural. It's made out of magnesium and what is it called, the other one? Valerian, and something else I forgot. Well, he said they're excellent. He recommended to all his people, the patients, and it works. But back then, I was so afraid of everything that would cause me. I have phobias, that anything would cause me a panic attack. That I went to the hospital. That it was nearby, and I bullshit just so they let me in. And once I was in, I took the pill there, because I figure if something happened, at least I'm in the hospital. I don't want it to be home at night, So I did. I took it there, and then also I started to feel really good. But good normal, which is, it doesn't sedate you, it doesn't make you relax, it just makes you feel normal, which is very amazing, these pills, they just feel, I don't like anything I didn't like anything that made me drowsy, like tired, like if I start yawning, if I took something, I started yawning, I still get panic attack. Because it would be like, why am I yawning? It's really bad. A panic attack, anxiety is horrendous. You start to think, why am I yawning? And then get a panic attack right there. Because right away you think the worst. I met a lady who told me she had a friend that, I don't know, had issues with anxiety, And then when I saw her again, she said, I just came back from, I don't know wherever she went, in California. She said, I was with her because she's afraid to go to sleep. And so I was keeping her company. Then, 2 days later, she tells me she killed herself. She committed suicide. So she said her thing was afraid to go to sleep. So people with anxiety and panic attacks start to create phobias, you think like, why? And so I'm going to talk about that if you really want me to. Why somebody would would have a phobia going to sleep. And a lot other things that are happening now with this shift. And what can you do about it? Because I always, 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 since I've been doing YouTube for many, many, many years, I always told you something, but I gave you the antidote for it, you know. I felt that it was a disservice to tell somebody about something and not tell them how to, overcome this. I would bring bad news and tell you what to do, not to do, what to do about it. Because you can't just tell people something that is bad news or negative and then leave them like that and move on. Don't do that. So I never did that unless I had an antidote that it worked for me. Not because I read it on the internet. That's another thing. Unless it worked for me, I'm not going to talk about it. So if you ask me something, I don't know. I don't like the history. This is one of the reasons I don't touch history, because I wasn't there. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be the most horrendous man in the world, and you have all the history books telling you it was a horrendous person in the world that killed everybody. I'm not going to take side because I wasn't there. I don't know if whatever the books say are biased. And now with the media, the news, I haven't listened to news. I haven't had a TV for ages. I refuse to have a TV in the house, so I threw them all out. No cable, none of that. I'm talking about decades. At least 20 years. So, or more than 20 years. I say stay away from the news. And I always said it, stay away from the news, because the news is one-sided. One-sided. You can't believe anything the news tells you. And on the same token, I don't read books about history because that's what they tell me. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not going to hate somebody that the teachers in school is a person to hate. Why? I'm going to hate it. I don't know. The only thing I can say, and even then you don't really know, if you read something now about politics or any event or any situation, you really don't know. It's the media feeding you, and the books and the media and everybody's feeding you. They all belong to the same club. They're feeding you stuff so that you go against this group of people or whatever. So I don't do that. I'm not going to take any sides. In any case, when I went to the hospital, there was a woman there, one of the aide nurses, very nice, and I told her that I get, anxiety and everything. She said, "Oh, I used to get it for many years." And I said, "What did you do?" She said, "They gave me Xanax." I was taking Xanax for a long, long time, and then I decided to give up those pills. And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because when I was taking Xanax, I was numb. I wouldn't feel anything, nothing, no emotion at all, not negative, not positive. I was like a zombie." And I decided that I didn't want to feel like that. So I researched and found that meditation is very good. And she said, "I've been doing meditation for 15 years and I haven't had any anxiety or panic attacks." I said, "Oh man, that's amazing. Yeah, I love that." So that was one of the triggers, one of the things that helped me, catalyst to me going into meditation. Now, here I am. I don't know what to do. I have no knowledge or background knowledge about meditation. I decided, I remember when I was really young, my mother was a Rosicrucian, and they go there and meditate, but there wasn't really a method. It was They put some music and incense, and you just fell asleep. That's what I felt. I felt like, oh, falling asleep. I felt good. So I didn't have any method. And is you just sit down quietly, and that's all I knew. There was no book, nothing in it. So I developed a method on my own. And when I was doing the live videos, streaming in Spanish, I will share this with the audience, my audience back then, or my audience at the time, and it worked for them. Keep in mind one thing that I got feedback, and so I'm going to talk about this. Okay, the first thing is, what is my method? My method of meditation is very simple. You sit down, don't lay down, especially if you have breathing situations where you don't feel like you can breathe or you can take a deep breath. It's better to sit up. Then, if you want to know, I'll tell you what really is happening when you can't breathe. You have to, what is it really asthma or is it something else? Okay, and how to start breathing better, how to not have any more issues with breathing. I have all different methods for anything that you are experiencing. You don't need to take any pill, and so I'll continue to share this stuff with you. In any case, so what you do is you sit up, don't lay down, and you have people say, oh, I meditate, it feels so good. And I said, oh, how you do that? I mean, people, clients, that will come to me for help. And they tell me, well, I lay down in bed, close my eyes, and I feel so good. I said, you weren't meditating, you were sleeping. That's different. There's a big difference. And now, what is the difference between meditation and sleeping? And is it the same? I mean, can you just sleep? You don't need meditation? Or you should meditate, because sleeping also is relaxing, you need it. But meditation is a different total different situation that is happening when you do that, when you meditate. So anyway, sit down or sit up. Your feet are touching the ground. Prefer that you don't cross your legs, so that will be totally relaxed. Then you put a fan that is semi-loud, not a quiet. You don't want a quiet sound. You want a sound that you can hear. I used to use a fan. Now I'm using air cleaner, a machine, that cleans the air. I don't know if you can hear it because this microphone is really good. This microphone will cancel out any sound that is around me, and it only concentrates on what is coming from my mouth. So it's a very good microphone. But I have a machine in the background, an air cleaner. So you close your eyes. I preferably, and if I do that, I have a few blindfolds. I have ones that are very good, very cushioned, and they're perfect. I had like 2 or 3 of them. I have one downstairs, I have them upstairs, I have the one by my bed, because sometimes I lay down and visualize. So I put them, it cancels out any lights, it goes dark. And that's another reason. Why is it good? Okay. When everything turns dark, when you close your eyes and everything is black, immediately your body starts to release melatonin. It's immediate. So that's why when you go to sleep, you notice you close your eyes. If you close your eyes, you're just going to start to feel drowsy, sleepy, all the stuff. Plus, I don't. The light is a distraction, so I put the blindfold. I sit up, and I concentrate on the sound of the machine or the fan if you have a fan. And anytime the thought comes, any thought, what am I gonna cook? I gotta clean the house. I don't know, but at the minute that you notice that because you're not gonna notice, when you notice that here I'm thinking, immediately go back to the sound. So basically, you're gonna put all your attention in that sound that comes from that machine. Again, you're gonna be there listening to the sound, and then you're gonna start thinking. Immediately go back to the sound. You're even gonna feel like your eyes are moving that way toward the machine. That's very good. And do that. You can take a deep breath and say to yourself that with every deep breath, your body's going to be relaxed more and more. And then I'm going to tell you a meditation that I did with people in groups, a group meditation, and they would be knocked out quickly. So that's another method that I use. But let's continue with this one. So you start to go back. You're listening to the sound, and boom, you start thinking, bang, go back to the sound, bang, thinking, bang, go to the sound. And you're going to play that thing until eventually you are going to feel like you're not thinking. You're just very relaxed, right? So after that, you're going to, another thing you do is imagine that you're at one of those inflatable balls or inflatable balloons or inflatable dolls. Imagine you're an inflatable doll, and then you let the air out. And as you let the air out, you start to feel like, ugh. You ever see those dolls that when there's a sale or something, it's like flying in the air, and then when the air comes out, they just fall, right? So imagine that the air coming out, and you're like totally. Your shoulders should drop, your legs, everything, you feel everything dropping, like a balloon or a doll that got all the air came out. And you do that. And you continue. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The first day, you maybe have, if you've never done it, you may, especially if you're a thinker, you just have this obsessive thought that you continue to think, that chatterbox that you have. Probably the first day is going to be a challenge. Also, put the timer for 20 minutes. You may get to 29 minutes and still didn't get nothing. You get 30 minutes. Whatever you want to do, 30 minutes would be great. If you go to 20 minutes and it still wasn't able, what you do is, you weren't able, what you do is you put it for another 20 minutes. The important thing is don't put any pressure on you, because that pressure it will prevent you from falling into meditation. So just tell yourself 20 minutes. If I don't, I'll put another 20 minutes. Or if I don't, I'll just get up and do that. Get up. I can guarantee you by the second or third day, you'll be meditating. Now, how do you know you're meditating? Well, you know everything is going on around you, but you are in that state of, you're conscious of what's happening, and yet you are not here. You're in the middle state there, or in here, not there. You're in both, like that, in and out. And then you start to see people, maybe even hear voices, all kind of thing. When I first did it, I wanted to just relax and not feel any anxiety. But as the time went by, I quickly started to see things, started to see people, voices talking to me, and I realized that, oh wow, this is more than they tell you, at least for me. I don't know for other people, but I thought to myself, I thought, wow, they're telling you to meditate, 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 but this shit is basically more than they tell you, because I never read anywhere where they said that through meditation you'll be connecting with non-physical beings, people that already die, uh, with everything, even with extraterrestrials, any of that stuff. Nobody ever told me that. They say I thought meditation was just to relax. But here I'm having these experiences, and it's like, wow. And some experiences were very strong. So I was, no, nothing happens to you. And it didn't cause me fear. It was just like, wow, amazing. I don't know why they don't tell people that. I don't know if it's just certain people. It can be just me. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was doing the meditations, well, maybe just, I don't know, but I was doing the meditation in group, or I just doing the streaming and telling people how to do it. People would come back and tell me that they heard voices, they were scared, and that all this stuff. And it was because of the fan. You know, they had a loud fan, maybe it's a very strong, powerful fan. And it was, I told them that's very normal. When I used to put the fan in my house in California, I would always have this big, you can buy them in Lowe's. They are, what do they call them? I guess, what is the word? Industrial, I guess that's what it's called, industrial. And yes, you put them on, it blows, it's like a tornado, but you hear voices. Because my son will hear, I will hear like people talking. But I realize it's the fan. If the fan is very strong, if it's the fans that I have now, I don't hear shit. They're very gentle, and I wouldn't use them as a white noise. I wouldn't use them for meditation because they're too. They're very quiet. People make a big deal that when you buy a fan, they say it's very quiet, or an air conditioner is very quiet, or things like that. No, to me it's like, no, I want it to be loud. I don't want it to be quiet. I want it to be loud, because what happened is when the house is completely quiet, you're gonna hear noises seems that come from your head, like zzz, like a static. You hear shh, and sometimes it gets louder. So I don't like the house completely quiet, and people that tell me they're having this issue, I tell them to do that. Some kind of sounds in the house. I can't go to sleep without. I need a fan or some kind of machine. My son too. Both my sons, they needed something to go to sleep. And I say very rare that you find someone that is not hearing things, or they found out, that the fan is very good, a white noise. In any case, that's the meditation. Now, you can, before you enter meditation, you can put an intention or ask a question. And you will get the answer during the meditation in many ways. They give me a name, I can tell you many ways that they tell me, or I tell myself, not they, I tell myself, but sometimes, it's other essences, other non-physical beings that talking to you. So that's meditation. Now, meditation, what it does is, if you're very stressed out, life is stressful as it is already. It's part of the reality, the stress. But if you have a lot of stress with money, family, whatever it is, if you had trauma, and don't even realize I have trauma, then that compounds whatever other things, on top of the stress. So meditation is, let me put it the way it is. Imagine you're a computer and you're overloading the computer, right? With too much shit. The computer, if you don't do something about it, it will burn out. And for physical beings, for us humans, that would translate to falling in a coma, having a stroke, right? Some people suffer a temporary coma, like for 2 weeks. They have a stroke, right? So what is happening there is the body consciousness is resetting. It's like, okay, enough of this bullshit. We're going to turn off the computer. And that's what's happening with the coma, with this stuff. You don't need to get to that point. Meditation is the same effect as you falling in a coma or you having a stroke, right? Except with the stroke, you still continue to, think and worry and all this shit. But with the coma, it's better because the person is, for 2 weeks, shut down. Sometimes is years and sometimes is, well, they used to be for life. The problem with the coma is that doctors now, they are trained, hospitals are trained not to let the person go more than a day. And they bullshit you. They say the person is going to be really bad, disabled completely because the brain is not receiving any information. There's no electrical. It's not reading. Your brain is not reading in the machine, so they take the oxygen out, right? I feel, and I'm going to tell you, that would be another time that I'll talk about. I communicated with a person who fell in a coma and what the person told me. Okay? The person, and I'm going to tell you what a coma is. And it's that you don't need, actually, you can continue to be who you are without a brain. Okay? You continue to breathe, do everything. The brain is not the one controlling your physical body, your organs, your blood, none of that is the brain. That's the distortion. It's not true. Your body has its own consciousness, and the one controlling your body, everything that the body does, is you, not physically. Okay? So you can live without a brain. And when they remove 3/4 of the brain, you can still be fine. Okay? So when somebody goes in a coma, it's not reading any electrical, there's no reading. They immediately take the life support, blah, 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 blah. And maybe some of them, they wanted to leave. They wanted to go. And maybe it could be that in some cases the person has maybe like a vegetable, maybe disabled. I don't know. I don't think nothing is 100%. Right? Anyways, so when you meditate, it's like you do that. You shut down the computer and restart it. You can boot up the computer, you can restart it, but you shut it down. And that's what you're doing with meditation. The only difference is with meditation, you don't shut down the computer completely for too long. Your computer is not shut down. It's just you shut down to the point where it's restarting. Of course, for us, how long is that? How long before you die? So it's a shutdown. It's just you shut down everything, every physical focus. Whatever your attention is physically, it will be shut down. And that's why meditation is very, 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 very important. I hope this was of help for you, Sherry. And there's another method that I use, and is you take a deep breath, hold it, count to 5, and then exhale. You can hold it for 10, count to 10. Okay? You take a deep breath, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you do that. Pretty soon you're going to start to feel your whole body like numb, like when you feel fall asleep, like numb. And then you're going to feel like in heaven, like wow. Then you fall quickly into that trance. It worked. I did it with people, and immediately it was actually harder. It was hard to get them out of it. Getting them in, it was super fast, and they loved it. So that's what you do. You hold it and then breathe. Now, the breathing, why people can get that breath deep down in the stomach, is because there's tension in the muscles in the back and on the chest. They're all connected. So that is restricting your breathing. It's not that you have asthma. It's that. And the way to know is, how does your back feel? Try to stretch your back. Does it feel stiff? Then that's what it is. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.